All right. Can we try this again? Can we try it again? Hopefully we get everything good to go this time. All right, so what I did is I changed up the order for everyone who just watched the last broadcast and saw that we started having technical issues. I hope I have the issues resolved. We will see here shortly, okay? Because I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll try to work through it. We'll work through it. Okay. I'm not gonna go do a whole bunch of talking here. I'm gonna do talking, but I'm just gonna get right into it. Okay, so you remember, like in the last broadcast, I was talking, for those of you that did watch it, I was talking about, oh man. Man, there must be a liberal around. I'm sneezing. Okay. Let me bring something to your attention. You remember I played this video last night with this person here, Kamala Harris. And in this video, she's talking about the nation owning people, in America owning people. And I brought up the fact how that is still happening in other parts of the world, which, they completely ignore. In some Muslim countries, they're still owning black people. They're selling black people. The slave trade is still happening. There's a reason why I want to play this for you tonight again, because listen to what she says, right? And because when it's all coming to the election, they always bring up racism. It's like their go-to handbook. Okay, we're not doing good, so we want to deflect from everything else that we're doing to the American people and get everyone to believe that we're not the racist ones, but they are the racist ones. Listen to this one more time for me.
We know, NAACP, that our country has a history of claiming ownership over human bodies.
You hear this? Claiming ownership over human bodies. So the history, if you look at the actual history, the people that own human bodies was the same party that she's in today. They were the only ones who ever own people. It was the Democrat Party. They were the only ones. The Democrat Party were the only ones who ever advocated for slavery. The Republican Party never has. Not a single time. She and the Democrats should own it. But you know what? They don't want to own it. They want to deflect. They want to make everyone believe that it's you, the white conservative Christian, aka MAGA Republican. They want everyone to believe that you're the racist ones, that you're the white supremacists, that you're the neo-Nazi. They want you to believe all the stuff that they call you, white people specifically, they call us, the left, they call us. They're the ones that are that way. They are the ones who's truly racist. They're the ones. This guy played a video on Twitter, and I didn't want to play. I can't play it because it has music in it. And this guy is a black dude on Twitter, and I had never seen him before. And I think his name is Kevin, if I remember correctly. And he's showing how, what was this? This was the Sesame Street. I don't know if y'all seen this, but Sesame Street, there's a parade going on with Sesame Street, the characters, and the characters walk up to people. And, there's kids all out there, and all the characters, they avoid the black kids, and he brings it to light. He's showing the tension of it. The characters, Cookie Monster and all the other Sesame Street characters, they're showing them avoiding black kids, and then they go and hug white kids. And it's really bizarre, right? And we know Sesame Street is woke. They're all about the sodomy. They're all about, teaching this crazy stuff. But he just pointed it out. The reason why I bring it up, because these are Democrats, because of Sesame Street. They're all woke, just like Disney. They're all Democrats in there. They're all sodomites in those clown outfits. But they are the racist ones, not the conservative Christians. And the main reason why I want to bring all that up is because of this video here. Listen to this. They actually compare They literally compare the GOP to Hitler. They're literally doing this. Listen to this.
We've had this faction throughout the United States. It is the ideology of slaveholders, of the Ku Klux Klan, of the John Birch Society, of George Wallace's presidential run. But what had happened, at least sort of as the conservative movement emerged after World War II as a coherent entity, is that it attempted to align itself with these radicals on the theory that it could contain them, it could bring them into their political coalition, harness their incredibly sort of strong feelings and beliefs, and turn them into votes for basically pretty normal tax cuts and anti-abortion politics and the kinds of things that really animate mainstream conservatives.
You hear what he's saying here? He's saying that basically mainstream conservatives were for abortion. That's literally what he's saying. Conservatives have never been for abortion. He's trying to say that there's been a switch, a change, and that radicals have joined the conservative movement and changed their ideology. He's lying.
And this worked for a little bit. What happened is that over time, slowly, and ultimately culminating in Donald Trump, the radicals started to influence the mainstream conservatives. Not the other way around. It wasn't the conservatives controlling the radicals. It was the radicals whose ideas, based on their shared hatred for liberalism and sort of the mainstream of American political society.
No one likes liberalism because you're demonic. Y'all want to sexualize children. It has nothing to do with hating you. It's hating the sin. It has nothing to do with people. And you know what? They truly don't get it. They truly don't get it. They think that the world that they want, this liberal utopia, that everyone should be happy about taking the life of a child, and it has nothing to do with women's rights. I'm so sick of that. It has nothing to do with women's rights. Women are not losing their rights. I will fight for women to have their rights. Absolutely. They're literally lying. They want us to go do away. This is part of the reason why they want us to do away with the U.S. Constitution. But he's going to have the audacity to come on there and sit there and try to convince everybody, well, people that watch it. This is MSDNC. I don't think conservatives ever watch it. The only time y'all probably ever see this nonsense is when I share it with you. And I'm doing this to expose who they are. You need to know. You need to know, because see, they're calling all of us, and it's everybody except for people like Liz Cheney and Adam Kissinger, Mitt Romney, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and even, McCarthy. Right? Every now and then. And they say all of this is how they want the Republican Party to be. And the reason why they want the Republican Party to be that way, because they bend over for the Democrats. And that's all they want. But listen, they still, in this video clip, compare Hitler to the GOP of today. Listen.
They gradually started to resemble each other to the point where the mainstream right was willing to fully capitulate to the radical right if it meant gaining political power.
I don't want to turn this into a college poli-sci course, but we do have a professor here. Ruth, do you agree with this synopsis? And then as a follow, if you do agree with it, I'm wondering, as someone who's studied this stuff, what's the closest historical parallel to the moment we are that we are in right now with our democracy?
Now, here it comes. Listen.
So I do agree. And in fact, my book is about all these case studies all over the world of when conservatives, like starting with Mussolini and Hitler, conservatives brought these extremists and their militias into power, thinking they could control them and ally with them. And then the logic of authoritarianism is increasing radicalization.
See, and you know what? This is the very reason why they will never allow me to go on a broadcast with them. They'll never have me go on MSDNC. They'll never allow me to go on there, Communist News Network, because I would not sit idly by while people literally compare the GOP, because I consider myself with President Trump. I consider myself voting Republican. I'm a conservative Christian, but I vote for Republicans because they don't want to sexualize children. They don't want to destroy the country. It's the Republicans that worked with President Trump that had our nation energy independent. So these people are lunatics. These people are straight up demonic. So what I got into earlier, what I got cut off with my my system having issues here, I talked about the one world order, or in this case, the liberal world order, where they've already admitted that they want to create a liberal world order. And that liberal world order is connected with the World Economic Forum. And how does it make that connection? With Joe Brandon. Joe Brandon, when he was given the Build Back Better slogan, it came from the World Economic Forum. Well, the World Economic Forum has now signed an agreement, and I think this was a couple of weeks ago, but they signed an agreement to work with the UN. They're making the connection with the UN. So this liberal world order, which is the order of the Antichrist, is coming full effect. Do not let them fool you. Do not let them deceive you. Do not let them trick you. They're trying to get everyone to believe that you don't want to be part of humanity if you don't want to be part of this liberal world order. They're doing it. Now, this is the clip I played earlier, but listen to what he says here. It's really important that people pay attention, because the United Nations, they're no longer it's still the United Nations, but now the World Economic Forum and the United Nations are together and they're implementing all this tyranny across the planet. Listen.
This afternoon, the Secretary General and Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, will witness the signing of a memorandum of understanding on a strategic partnership between the UN and the World Economic Forum, which outlines areas of cooperation to deepen engagement between the two institutions and to jointly accelerate the implementation of the 2030 Agenda.
The 2030 Agenda. And so many people have heard about that, and you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that never even heard about the 2030 Agenda. I encourage everybody that has never heard of that, go to Google. As of right now, to my understanding, Google will show it to you, or go to DuckDuckGo. Type in 2030 Agenda. See what it's about. See what they don't want you to see, or see what they're talking about. And they got the information out there now, but it's going to come to a point where you can't even see it. They're going full on with this tyranny, this demonic tyranny. And like I showed you earlier, for those of you that were watching, listen to Joe Brandon that is leading. He's like leading America into this liberal world order. It's absolutely disgusting and repulsive. Listen to this.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him. The idea that Los Angeles and what am I doing here? For two reasons. One, we haven't been able to communicate it in a way that is, let me say another way. But the nature, not a solid meeting with they make a very good point. Here's the deal. Here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected. Here's what you can do, the drivers.
We want to expand pre-K for 3- and 4-year-olds, millions of pre-K students.
Somebody get this man some help. You know what? I was saying this before he even got to this point, that I was calling this elderly abuse. What they're doing to this dude is just pathetic. It is truly pathetic. And you know what? It's not going to hurt them. It's going to end up hurting us. It's going to end up hurting the American people, that they have this bubbling idiot at the helm. This is horrifying. He's the one flying the plane. For those of you that don't know, he's the one at the cockpit right now. He's the one driving the Titanic. Can I say that? Oh, snap. He is the one. And he's doing it for this liberal world order. He's straight up doing it for this liberal world order. So the other video that I got into, which I want to play again, is really important because this is another attack from Satan on Christianity and those of you that believe in the sanctity of life. They're trying to deceive all of you. Again, listen to what she says about you don't have to give up your faith if you want to murder the child. Listen.
We must also take steps to protect other fundamental freedoms, including the freedom for a woman to make decisions about her own body.
And no one is taking those freedoms away. Seriously. If you don't like the state, then, no one is forcing you to stay in the state either. Right?
And on this subject, it's important to note that to support a woman's ability, not her government, but her, to make that decision does not require anyone to abandon their faith or their beliefs.
So basically, she's saying that you can be a Christian and kill your baby too. That's literally what she's saying. And you know what? This is what you call someone possessed with a demonic spirit. A demonic spirit. And they've been turned over to a reprobate mind. They've been turned over, and God has sent them a strong delusion because she's one of them too that believe a man can be a woman. And then they want to try to say like the government shouldn't be able to make the decisions for you. Well, how about you get the government out of it altogether? Don't allow the government to say yay or nay to anything. And if they try to murder somebody, report it as a crime. See, they don't want to do that because these people are of their father, Satan, the great dragon. Listen to this.
It just requires us to agree the government shouldn't be making that decision for her.
Right. The government shouldn't be making a decision for her. But y'all willing to go in there and tell the government that they have to be able to murder. Yeah, do y'all understand that? I mean, it's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. All right. Now, this is where I got messed up last time. So this is what AOC, where when she got arrested along with Jussie Smollett. Never happened. She's walking. And she gracefully, the police officers are escorting her out, and she's walking with her hands behind her back to give the perception that she's under arrest, right? Because she wants those pictures to go out. But then I want you to see what she does right after that. Hopefully it doesn't lock up on me this time. Check this out. So the police officers are escorting her out, right? They're escorting her. And you can see her right there. Right there. You see her hands behind her back? Now I'm going to try this one more time. Hopefully it don't act up on me. Okay, look at that. We're getting somewhere this time. Look at this. See, no handcuffs on her hand. You can see he's holding her arm because he's escorting her away. And I don't know if y'all noticed before that, she was smiling, right? And then I want y'all to pay attention to this. Pay attention to this part here. You see? You see her fist? You see her fist? Then she put her fist up in the air. You see that? And you know what that fist means, right? That means she's shaking her fist at God, right? But she did the photo op first with her hands behind her back to make it look like she was arrested. And then all of a sudden, she's putting her fist up, right? Because, so she can come back and say, no, that's not what my intention was. That's not what I was doing. That's not what I was doing. And again, she's out there fighting to be able to murder children because it's a double homicide, right? If it's the other way around, if a woman's pregnant with a child, we already know what it is. They count as a double homicide because it is a child. It is a child. A living, breathing child, a human being. But they disregard human beings like it's nothing. They are more concerned about what's happening to an animal than they are human beings. And then they go, well, if you're pro-life, you would try to get rid of the guns. If you're pro-life, you wouldn't be fighting against us trying to convince you about the weather. It is hot. It is hot. I just don't believe it's hot for the reasons that they claim it to be. It is hot. And you know what makes me think about something? It makes me think about something else. Even in the Bible, it talks about in the last days that the trees and the animals won't be able to tell the times or the season. It even talks about that in the Bible. But it's not what they want us to believe. They're trying to get it and run with it so they can bring us all under this umbrella of this liberal world order. That's what it's really about. Let me change the subject here. Something that's really affecting every last one of us, and that's when we go to the gas station, right? Joe Brandon put a meme out. Well, he didn't put it out there. Some intern probably put it out there for him. Put a meme out on Twitter, and I'm banned on Twitter. They suspended my account on Twitter. They said it's permanently suspended. But anyways, Joe Brandon put a meme out on Twitter, his intern or somebody did, and they said that he brought gas down from $5.02 to $4.50. So let me give you an example of what took place here, because I actually, on my other Twitter account, oh snap, on my other Twitter account, I actually put a comment under what he said, and I want to read to what I said. I said, who thinks that $4.50 for gas is good? Right? Who do any of you think $4.50 for gas is good? Right? In some places, it's still higher, like California and in New York and on the East Coast, along the West Coast, it's still higher. So I said, it's like this. The Biden administration caused gas to go from $2.75, in some places it was in like $2.32 to $5 a gallon, and then brings it down to $4.50 just to tell Americans he's helping. You understand that? So it went from $2 and some change to over $5. And then he brings it down to $4, and now he's helping. He caused the daggone problem in the first place, but yet people are not getting the bigger picture. Let me put it like this. You ever, when they, some people do like sales in the stores like that, they say, oh, we're going to do a sale, but they mark the product up. So then when they do the sale, you go in there and say, oh, it's on sale. You think you're getting a discount. It's the same thing they did here. They raise the price, and then he does the federal tax for the gas, bring it down. Oh, you think you're getting a discount. I mean, they're trying to manipulate every last one of us. Don't fall for it, people. And the reason why they're doing this is because we're sliding into the election year. And let me remind you of something else. Don't you remember when President Trump was in office, we were energy independent. President Trump and the Republicans worked together, along with some Democrats, because they saw that was looking good, and they made us energy independent. Do y'all remember that? No one was complaining about the gas pump. Not like they are now, not like on a national scale. Like, this is a major problem. This is to the point where it's causing people where they can't even get to work, have to decide between work, the electricity for their homes, or buying food for the table. We have to make these decisions now because of what Joe Brandon and the Democrats did. But listen to this, because Joe Brandon's poll numbers are like in the dirt. They really are. And you know what, if you ask me, they're fudging the numbers because they want people to believe that he still has a chance. Listen to this as they talk about this, and then listen to what they talk about the gas, right? Listen to this.
One thing that I thought was interesting, we have a part of the poll here that asks whether candidates have in their area have their priorities at the top of their mind. And basically, voters say the Democratic candidates, 67% no, 65% say no about Republicans. They don't like any of these people.
Well, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, you can't really.
And let me stop it before it goes into this complete idiot that's getting ready to talk. And yes, I said she's a complete idiot. they're they're saying that no one likes any of the candidates. But you know what? All of the candidates, I think at least all but maybe 2 or 3 to my understanding, every one of them that President Trump has endorsed, they're winning in their primaries. They're coming on top. So what are they talking about? That no one liked the candidates. People don't like Democrats. And they're only doing this because they want people to believe that and it is fudging these numbers, right? I'm telling you, I'm willing to bet that they're fudging these numbers. They only want people to believe that the Republicans don't have a plan. The Republicans aren't going to do anything. Listen to this.
Blame people. I mean, when you look at
let me play this last part. Listen to this again.
People. I mean, when you look at the economy, the big issue is inflation. What can the government really do about that? And the fact is, there's not much that they can do on either party.
That's a total lie, because I just told everybody what the Republicans did when President Trump was in office. Had us energy independent. They could do the same thing that President Trump and the Republicans did when they were in office, but they don't want to do that because they want to do that stinking Green New Deal.
Republicans don't have a plan to fix inflation. They are benefiting from being able to just call out the problems, but they don't have a solution to fix it. And
you hear this? She said they just have the benefit of calling out the problem, but they don't have a solution. The solution was already there. They broke it. It wasn't the Republicans that closed the XL pipelines, shut it down. It wasn't the Republicans that shut down the offshore drilling. It wasn't the Republicans that stopped the drilling on federal lands. It wasn't the Republicans. It was all solely the Democrats. And now they're trying to say that no one can fix this. Like all of this happened just out the whim. No one understands why this happened. It just happened. That's how they're wanting people to believe and people to think. Do not be fooled by these demonic people.
Really, I mean, and there is a bigger problem for democracy here, and that people do not feel like the government is answering their needs. And when you look at Congress and you look at how things get stalled and how Congress is unable to do the big things, you can't really argue with people on that. They're not really handling the issues. Like, that's just a fact.
And yet,
she said, that's just the fact. No, it's not. When President Trump was in office, he had legitimate job creation taking place. Y'all remember President Trump had businesses, companies showing up to the White House, and they were making pledges to bring business back to America. So then that way they could hire people. They were legitimate jobs, not what they're trying to claim the jobs coming back for. We all know the American people are not stupid. The American people are not dumb. The American people know exactly what is going on. They see what's happening. They know what's happening. They want all of us to believe that this was unavoidable, like it had to happen. Them tearing down the country didn't have to happen. Listen to this.
And here we are facing another week where Democrats will not bring up any bills on the House floor to lower gas prices, to lower inflation, to secure America's border, to address the serious problems that families are facing. You just saw over the weekend, Joe Biden came back from Saudi Arabia. Hat in hand, he goes over there begging them to produce more oil. You had the French President Macron telling him that the answer was going to be no. Yet he flew Air Force One 5,700 miles over to Saudi Arabia just to be told, no, they won't produce more energy, when he could have just stayed here, where the answer would have been yes.
100% would have been yes, right? But he's not wanting to do that. Again, because of the World Economic Forum, because they believe that they want to tear down the world economies and build them back better. That was on their website before they removed it. It was on their website. And they don't want America to prosper. They don't want America to be the way it was under President Trump, because we didn't have to go to anybody for anything. The surplus was beautiful. Have you looked at your portfolio lately? Have you looked at I encourage you not to look at it, because you're going to be highly disappointed. People have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because of what the Biden administration has done. Inflation at 9.1%. What is it going to look like the next time the report comes out? Do you think it's going to go down? Because they're not doing anything different. They're actually making things worse.
We've got all the energy that we need to meet America's needs and our allies around the world, and it's Joe Biden who keeps saying no to American energy as he begs foreign dictators to produce the oil that we need to meet our demands. That's why families are struggling under an 88% increase in gas prices at the pump. That's how much more families are paying today than when Joe Biden became president, 88% more. But what are they bringing to the floor this week, as Mario and my other colleagues talked about? A massive increase in spending, 14% increase in spending in an appropriations bill that was drawn up in a hyper-partisan way to drive inflation even higher. And when you think about what's hurting families the most right now, it's high gas prices, it's high inflation when they go to the grocery store. If they can even find the products they're looking for, it's costing them 15, 20, 30% more to buy those products.
And I remember when Jen Psaki was the press secretary, and she was constantly saying that it's not true. She literally said it wasn't true. Peter Dorsey was constantly asking her, and she was avoiding the question. And then there was then one point, if I'm not mistaken, it was her. She said that they just haven't restocked the shelves. That was one of the things the fake fact checkers were fake. They were checking people that were talking about it. And they said the stalkers just didn't put the products on the shelves yet. They literally said that. And they were checking people, the fake fact checkers.
And if somebody wants to buy a home right now, maybe they want to be a first-time home buyer. Well, good luck, because next week we're expecting another 1% increase in interest rates because of all of President Biden and Speaker Pelosi's spending. And their answer is to add more spending in Washington.
See, I was just asking, when is it going to go up again? So if it goes up another percent, he didn't say a percentage, right? He said if it goes up another percent, it's going to be 10.1%. That's insane. That'd be a new record for the nation. I think what the last time it was 43 years ago. It was, this is like a 43-year record, right? 43 years. So if it goes up to 10.1, I mean, really? Really?
They're so out of touch with where families are right now. And House Republicans are going to continue to propose ideas to fix these problems. We brought forward a package of energy bills that would lower gas prices tomorrow. I've presented them directly to the majority leader time and time again for months now. And not a single one of those bills has come to the floor. All bills that would not only be bipartisan, but would lower gas prices today for families and start lowering inflation. And so we're going to continue pushing to restore sanity as they continue going down this path of driving inflation higher, embracing an unsecure border with millions of people coming across our border illegally that's driven fentanyl deaths through the roof. Last year, 100,000 young people died of overdoses, primarily fentanyl, coming across our southern border because Joe Biden won't do his job in securing the American people. We're going to continue pushing to solve these problems.
He won't do his job. It's really disturbing. He won't do his job, and people are talking about it. People are disgusted with it. People are absolutely disgusted with it. He won't do his job. And people are expecting him to do his job, right? I mean, I knew he wasn't going to do anything from the get-go. I knew he wasn't going to do anything. I mean, there's most of us that pay attention to any of this know good and well that the country was going to be in a bad state, or we were hoping that, maybe, just maybe, I never thought that. I just knew that it was going to get worse. And people used to send me emails and send me messages in Messenger, constantly telling me, saying, Will, it's not going to get bad. Things will get better. It's not going to get bad. Things will get better. They were telling me this a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now, literally sending me this message. And I said, look, I hope you're right and I hope I'm wrong. But guess what? You're wrong. And I'm gonna tell it again. And you can send me the message if you want to. Things are going to get worse again. They're going to get worse than what they currently are. Because that is the design of demonic people. They don't care about being successful. They care about being successful in the demonic stuff that they're doing by tearing down the nation. I don't like this. I want what it was like when President Trump was in office. People were working. People complain. You had all the left that they spend day in and day out complaining about President Trump, just like they are now. If you turn on the liberal media news right now, everything that they talk about is because of President Trump. This man is not even in office and they're still trying to go after him. Wake up. Right? And I'm talking to the people on the left. Why are you so afraid of President Trump? When everything that he did, you benefited from it. That don't make any sense. You know what it makes me think about? And I don't equate President Trump with God at all. Not at all. He's just a man. He has a lot of flaws, because if he was God, he would be able to walk on water. None of this would have been happening. He's not perfect. But my point, what I'm getting at, is just like President Trump, when he was in office, you had all these people rejecting what he was doing, and he was doing positive things for the country. And even not just the country, he was doing positive things around the world. You're not listening. He was doing positive things around the world, and they rejected him. You understand? And he's just a man doing positive things. And that's where a lot of people get today. When they see someone doing something positive, they get, oh, wait a minute. He's doing something positive. I don't know that I like him anymore. When Christ returns, people are going to reject Christ. And the Bible's clear about it. And at first, when I was younger and I was reading that, I did not understand that. I'm like, how could you reject Christ when he returns? I'm like, I cannot understand it. Today, I see it. They rejected President Trump because he was doing positive things. They made up lies about him over and over and over and over again. Can I show this to you? They lied to him over and over and over again. I'll take it down before I get flagged. But they lied so much they got people to believe it. And even today, they have people living in fear. They have people believing the lies. They literally do. And listen to this, because this is the liberal thinking process right here. But you know what? They don't get it. They still don't get it. Even when they say, well, maybe what we're doing is not really helpful, but they continue right down the path. It's because it's almost like something's not right here. You can see them struggling with the spirit in them. Listen to her.
And then on top of that, there was just a Gallup poll out today that shows that the trust in media, newspapers and television is hitting an all-time low.
Okay, that echo is just on her video, but she's like, she's not understanding this Gallup poll, how the media is at an all-time low. Well, how come y'all don't trust us anymore? How come you don't trust us?
People don't trust us. They don't believe us. And it makes me wonder if this job, as I'm currently doing it.
Yeah, spreading lies and propaganda, 100%. That's what they do. And she's not getting it. She's thinking that, oh, well, if we tell these lies all the time, we push this propaganda, that people should just believe it and don't even question it.
Is effective.
Helping the Democrat Party.
But if it's doing more harm than good.
Bingo. And you know what? They don't get it. They don't get how damaging they have been to the country. And I can't tell you how many people say, well, I don't even watch the news anymore. And people would never see videos like this unless I share it with them, because they're sick and tired of watching them lie to us. And they don't get it.
I don't have a good answer for that.
She doesn't have a good answer for that because she doesn't get it. None of them get it. Again, they just keep going down the path thinking that we should just believe everything that they tell us. Everything. All right. We're at the end. I apologize for the technical issues earlier. Look like I got them worked out. So hopefully tomorrow I won't have any issues at all. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in for the second round of this. And thank you so much for sharing this video. I apologize again. Things happen. I was due for one, right? Right? Let me say thank you to a couple people before I bounce. Sherry, thank you so much for the stars. And then Michelle, thank you as well. And then Jordan, thank you. And then Mason, I'll just say that. Mason, thank you so much, Mason. Mike, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Then JDWC003 Super Chat me. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. Then Kevin, thank you as well. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate everybody. And thank you so much for not being afraid to share this video. There's valuable information in this video. And again, if you haven't watched the video I did last Friday, I encourage you to go check it out. Last Friday, it was extremely powerful. It's right now, if you're listening to this, it's the one from last Friday. You should go check it out. If you're watching this, whatever platform you're on, I did that broadcast last Friday right here on the platform that you're watching this on. It's extremely powerful. Please go check it out because it's talking about what's happening in our world today. It literally is. And it lines it all up. You need to get your mind, your body, and your soul right for what's to come. God bless everybody. See you on the flip side.